Willits is our town. Always has been, and always will be. Like any other town, it changes just a little bit from time to time. So we're here to let you know some of the things that are going on in your town. Anyone who has visited the farmers market in Willits has most likely come across City Council member Holly Madrigal during her office hours in the park. In this segment, Holly talks about the how and why of this innovative idea and its results.
I started doing my office hours, what I had originally called my mayoral office hours, about 2 years ago. I had a resident come up to me that wanted to discuss a city council related issue, but rather than imposing on my personal time, she said she would just stop by my office, and I had to let her know that at the city of Willits we do not have offices. And that actually gave me the idea to create an office hours in an accessible area, and what came to me was the Willits Farmers Market. So I decided that I would start bringing just a desk from my house and 2 chairs, and to bring them to the farmers market, which is a weekly event from 3 to 6 every Thursday. And as anyone here in Willits knows, that really is a hub of activity and a great place to have people passing by and stop in. I usually get a sort of a sliding scale between about 10 or 20 people that come by on a regular basis, not always the same people. I do have a handful of regulars, but generally people come by and they don't even necessarily need to speak about a specific issue. Some people stop by and say, well, I don't live within the city limits, and I have to tell them that that doesn't matter. I'm happy to talk. I'm an equal opportunity listener, and I will hear input or opinions or questions from people in or outside the city limits. It's really been a positive experience overall for me, because I get a handful of complaints, people that want to know when their street's going to be paved, or, why the cost of our water is going up. But just as often, I get some really good suggestions. I had one woman come by my desk, and she told me about a town in Britain where in order to encourage water catchment, they provided the water tanks for rainwater catchment off your roof. They provided those to artists. Artists would paint them and turn them into these beautiful works of art, and then they were auctioned to the highest bidder. So it raised awareness for water conservation. It encouraged more water catchment, in the community, and it was also sort of patronizing the arts, I thought that was a really good idea. Actually, just last week, someone mentioned that maybe the hospital might want to set up one of the blood drive mobiles outside of farmers market, which I thought was a really good idea. People are there already, they're shopping. They often need people to donate blood, but frequently people forget the dates that those are going on in the community, and it's not really visible or easy to remember. So I thought that was a really good idea as well. As I said, I've been doing my office hours for the City of Willits for about 2 years. I'm just currently decided to run for 3rd District Supervisor, and I'm hoping to expand it to Covelo and Laytonville. I'm going to find at least one time a week where I can haul out my desk, take it to a easily accessible, that's mainly the key, easily accessible public place where people can stop by and share their ideas with me. I think that over time it has grown a bit in popularity. I've gotten a certain amount of press, and so people do know that I'm going to be there from 3 to 6 on Thursdays. And what's wonderful about Willits is that our farmers market is now year-round. We have a winter's farmers market. So as much as I love being outside under the trees for half of the year, it's really nice when it's raining to be able to go to the Grange, the Willits Little Lake Grange, which now hosts the farmers market year-round. So in the winter, sometimes, the number of people declines a little bit when people are staying indoors more, but I think overall people still come by. Some people come by with specific questions, and I don't promise to have answers on the spot, although I do look into it. There's been a large amount of people who are interested in a dog park in Willits, for example. So I generally write down at least a list of first names of everyone who comes by my desk so that I have a way to judge how many people are coming by on a regular basis. That's how I keep track. And the dog park theme has come up numerous times, so that's certainly something that hopefully I'll be able to bring forward to the city council or meet with the community to see if there's, a real interest in that. As far as repeated questions or suggestions that I get from the community, most often I get people coming by just thanking me for being out there. I think that politicians are not always accessible, and my office hours is a really casual and unintimidating way to stop by. Some people don't realize they have a question or a concern until they see me sitting there. Other people save up their ideas. One woman had real concerns about our water meter replacement program that we're doing in the city of Willits, and she has some experience in that, and she just thought about that we were going about it all wrong, and so she, brought materials, and we came and talked about it. Because the Willits Farmers Market is such a hub, my fellow council members do occasionally come by, just because they're at the farmers market and they see me sitting there and want to come by and say hi. I think it's definitely possible that this idea might catch on in the future with other public officials and councilmen. I haven't yet had a chance to suggest it to Gavin Newsom, the mayor of San Francisco, that he might want to get a desk and head out there in front of the Civic Center. However, I think there are some security concerns. Luckily, Willits is this small town that's I feel very safe, having grown up here. However, occasionally I get people with very strong viewpoints on a subject. I had a gentleman that felt strongly that the police department in Willits was predatory towards the youth in the community, and in the sense that they would get excessively pulled over. He felt very strongly on the subject and thought that we should sack the entire police department. And I'm there to listen, not to necessarily act. I'm one city council member of 5, and, I can certainly bring that opinion forward. But people have some strong opinions on things. As far as issues with my office hours, I think one of the issues that I may have to address in the future is a time limit. I do have some regulars that have views that they like to share on a weekly basis. It's interesting, it's sort of like Lucy in the Peanuts cartoons. People often equate me to that because I'm sitting there and you can come and speak at my office hours. And so I think having a hourglass might be helpful, because if someone's sitting in the chair, some of the more timid members of the community may not come and sit down if there's not a space there. Because in theory, someone could come and sit down for an hour or for 45 minutes. And I try to move people along, eventually, so that everyone has time to come and speak. But I think I might someday get an hourglass. I think hourglasses are coming back in style. Well. I have really enjoyed having office hours at the farmers market, and I certainly encourage everyone to come. Now that it's the winter, the farmers market has moved indoors, which is at the Willits Grange, which is 291 School Street, and it's 3 to 6 every Thursday. If you can come by and see me, or you can come by and pick up fresh pie and fruits and vegetables. So it's a win-win.
My passion is to help the children. I worked for the Willits Food Bank for a long time, and I love helping people. And so when I found out about the toy run and how it, what it does is it raises funds to bring in money to get presents and food and other services for the children that otherwise, are forgotten. It starts actually in September. And so we start getting the designs ready for the T-shirt. We start getting designs ready for the posters and the cans and the letters that all go out. And then on October, I start going around to see who wants to volunteer to help out in all the, because we have a raffle, we have a 50-50. We have a band that comes and performs. We have people that make food and prepare it and serve it. So there's a lot of behind the scenes that go on, and you try to get all these different organizations too. Like who's involved this year is the Willits Rotary Club, the Willits Grange, Lions Club, and what's new is the Hog Group is with us this year. And so it's just a lot of volunteers working together to put on the toy run. But it's so gratifying. The volunteers and the merchants in this community are unbelievable. They work together so well, and people are always offering to help. It's a very, very good community. How the toy run works is you have to pick a date, because once it begins, every Sunday there's a toy run in one of the communities. So our date is, every year, our date is the Sunday after Thanksgiving.
Our senior center provides all kinds of services, activities. We have fundraisers here, events for the whole community. Anybody in the community or outside the community is welcome to come here to enjoy our lunch program or any of our activities. We're here to serve the seniors. That is our main goal, with services, referrals. We have an excellent outreach department. The Senior Center also offers fun activities every day of the week. From noon to 1, we have our main meal served, but that includes dessert and beverage. Our Meals on Wheels program is $4 a meal delivered, which is very, very good. Monday through Friday. It's for people 55 and older. We reach out to people who are homebound and, with either a permanent disability or temporary disability. Our other services that our senior center offers, which are free services, we have an excellent outreach department with Crystal Pence and Mary Lou Mangini, and they're there to serve you with any questions you have about Medi-Cal, Medicare. Also here at the center we have exercise class, we have blood pressure, we have HICAP, which is the health insurance counseling advocacy program. We have the ARP driver's class, which helps people save some money on their car insurance. We have a tax person through ARP who will do your taxes. Also, the Mendocino Lake Audiology has hearing services. It's on the first Wednesday of every month. And we also have a senior van. It's $1.25 within town one way, and for Brook Trails and Pine Mountain it is $3.25. We have a group of volunteers that will give rides to our seniors 55 and older for doctor appointments. They go as far as Santa Rosa. It's a really nice service because a lot of people, they don't drive. The senior transportation is available Monday through Friday from 8:30 in the morning to 3:30 in the afternoon. The Senior Center has a wonderful thrift shop. They offer clothing and small appliances. They have toys, numerous items. The thrift shop is open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. And they're also open on Saturday, 9 to 3. The Senior Center accepts local donations of produce, vegetables, and fruits to our center to help our nutrition program. Any denomination is welcome, whether it's your time, money, or equipment. Anyone can volunteer at the Senior Center. We have several areas that we could use valuable volunteers, dedicated volunteers. To volunteer, call the Senior Center at 459-6826. We hope to see you. Come join some of our groups.
Food around the corner, food around the corner. What? Food, food, food! There's food! 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 Oh shoot, I better not. There's food! Food! Yum! Yum, 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 gum, 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 gum. Where are you? What? What are you saying to me? What? Nothing, dear. I'll be right there. Go, 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 go. Where the hell have you been? Hey, this is pretty good stuff. Pretty good. Look at that. Look at that. There is delicious. I love it. What's that? That smells like food. There's food. Oh my gosh, there's food. Shh. I better be quiet before someone else finds my stuff. What's go 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 come. Ah, yummy, yummy. Come. This is good stuff. I love it. Delicious, stupendously delicious. I'd hide it too if I were him. What is that? Oh God, that looks good. That is go. Scrumptious. Scrumptious, delicious. I love it. And it loves me. Ah, yummy. Oh, man. I was just getting to the good part, too. Henry? Where is that Henry? Henry? He didn't even invite me, the mother of his children. I bear his young in this. What has he been up to? Just what? Henry? What's that?
So that's about it for now. Things are happening in Willits, as they always are, and things are changing, as they always do. Yet it's still the same familiar hometown we've all come to know and appreciate for what it is. We'd like to know what's happening with you, with your families, and the organizations which would not exist without your efforts and support. So give us a call at 459-2528 and let us know what's going on with you. Maybe you'll be a part of our next story. Keep tuned and join us next time to see what's happening this week in Willits.